Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. We are back for another stream. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Hello, oops. I forgot a piece. Forgot a piece. Wait. Forgot a piece. Actually, forgot two pieces, not just one. Not just one. Pum 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 pum. Pum 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 pum. Okay. We should be there. Yep. Let's try again. 3, 2, 1, go! Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another stream of Plane Shift. Yup. There is a picture of the day. Was raining back then. With a lot of fog. I see. So I just uploaded to the server a new patch. This patch is important because it's enabling the save of the dungeons. And by the way, I think that maybe what I can do, I can also check. I can also check one thing. Wait. Pum. I can also check one thing. So let me see if we got the save game. So in theory, okay, let me. Where is that? That is under. Sorry, I'm 1 second on the other screen, but I will show you. I will show you soon. So in theory, here somewhere, this is the production server, right? This is the production. This is the production. Yeah, this is the production server. And changing the music, changing the scene. Changing the music, changing the scene. Hello, Javi. Hello. So, in theory, you should have saved, right? You should have saved the thingy. How do I see it? We should have a save file, right? We should have a save file under saved. And under save games. Yup, easy. Look at this beautiful guy. Generated dungeon.save. Okay, so he actually saved it. Now, if it will work, I don't know, but it works on my machine, so I hope that, you know, it works here as well. So basically, thanks to the last update and the previous one, so now in theory generated dungeons should need no maintenance anymore from our side, so they are saved when they are generated, and they are reloaded at server startup. So this means that if you are in a dungeon and the server crashes for whatever reason, when the server restarts, you will find yourself back into the same dungeon, right? Which is exactly what we wanted. And yeah, It should be working now. Now, I didn't test it much, but it should be working. Okay, so what we want to continue is the work that we started a bit yesterday on drawings, right? Drawings and maps, because in the old game there was a beautiful system to actually draw inside a game, and that system is made in a completely different technology, and so is impossible to port. And so we have to redo it, right? So I've been investigating yesterday with you some of the technologies that are available for that, and we have seen quite a few, but there is one that is actually open source, is on Meat license, that we really like, and and I would like to use, right? I would like to use. Also, I've contacted the developer of this project, of this library or plugin, and he actually answered and he joined our Discord today. I asked him a few questions to just see some of the examples, and what happened? The music disappeared. Yeah, and so he provided some examples. So I think we will work a bit on a separate project for some time, right? We will work on a separate project. So we have to create a new project. Okay, let me create a new project here. Because we are finishing space on the other disks, so I think I will create a new project here. So this one we will call it Spline widget. I think is the closest name. I mean, it's the name that we remember. We can call it drawings with splines or something like that. Drawing splines, maybe drawing splines. So now here we are starting completely from scratch, right? So is will not be super easy, okay? If I start a blank project, do you think that I can easily put UI? Yeah, we said we can, right? So I think it's fine. We can start blank. I don't think we have to start third person, even if third person is nicer to see, but is so we will call it drawing splines. Okay, drawing splines. Now there will be more than splines, because actually we also want to be able to put icons, and I think I would like to have a palette of icons that you can actually select and things like that, but we will see. We will see. Okay, this is our new blank project, right? So what we want to be sure is that we have this plugin enabled. The plugin is called the Widget Spline system. Okay. Now, probably we will have to do changes to the spline system, most likely, but it's okay. It's not bad. So let me see one thing meanwhile. So this thing is under 543 engine plugins. Yeah. Okay, let me just check something here that I want to check if they added the proper one or not. Why not? Okay, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Yep. So I just did some checks, but I don't know why the music stopped. Probably because I pressed on stop without willing to do so. Okay. So what do we have to do? So we enable the plugin, right? So now we have the plugin. And I guess that the first thing we want to do when because if we just play this, okay, we are in this world here. Okay, fine. We don't care about this world, and it's very nice. Nice. Nice clouds. So if we go under plugins, in theory, right, we should get. Well, I can probably just search for that thing, is quicker. So if I search for wait a second, this thing is going at max FPS, which is always a bad idea while streaming, right? We should never have max FPS while streaming, so we will do max FPS 30, so it will leave more space for us. Yeah. Spline widget, spline, showing folder view. Okay, you remember that yesterday we had a problem that we couldn't see the examples, right? We couldn't see the examples. The reason that we couldn't see the examples was that, by the way, we should set this one as the starting map, at least for this project, so that project settings, maps and modes. What is the name of that thing? Is widget spline, huh? Widget spline. What? Doesn't see it by default for whatever reason. It's kind of weird. Okay, it doesn't see it because it's under plugins, but it's fine. Okay, so with this we just make the okay, so this is just an example, right? But this is basically what this thing can do, right? And these are all just examples of splines. And we also created our own simple widget with a million of splines just to test a bit, you know, what would happen. But nothing special happened, so it's basically. So the so basically what we want to do exactly this, right? So we want to be able to draw. Now the problem is that I would like to draw directly. I don't understand why there is this separate window, right? Why there is this spline widget in the editor and this is not directly done on top of the existing widget. Maybe there is a technical reason for it, I don't know. But the idea would be that instead of drawing on the side, right, you can just draw directly inside the widget, right? So like maybe you double click, you double click and you get into editing mode or something like that, right? So that would be very, very, very nice. Hello, Funner. Welcome, welcome. You donated plasma today. Oh, wow. That's nice. That's nice. You had a 1 MMM cookie and 4 Oreo cookie. Well, that's quite a bit though, but okay. 5 cookies, but okay. I'm done with the sweets for the rest of the day. Okay, good. My beverage shop was water during the donation and afterward. Nice. Go water team. Yeah. So the question is why we cannot do it here, right? That actually I don't know. Also, it seems that the drawing here is better than the drawing there. You see this curve, right? See how the curve is here, and you see how the curve is here. So here it seems that the curve is a bit broken. Like there is an empty line in between, right? It's very small, but anyway. Probably because it's on top of this point, so it cannot be seen. That's why. Yeah, that's why. So what is the idea? The idea is because, for example, here you have the possibility to add and remove spline points, right? If you see the bottom right is saying add remove spline point, right? So here what the code is doing is actually adding and removing kind of random points, I guess, along the line, right? And the spline is updating based on that change, right? Yeah. So we will have to do something like this, right? And here actually there is an additional possibility, which is to draw a spline. But this one I really would like to avoid, right? Because what this does, right? It creates 1,000,000 points and is basically making it super heavy, right? For nothing, right? So this is really not what we want to do. We don't want to do this. We want to be able just to add a point, remove a point, and then modify a point, right? And I'm thinking to two different ways. So one is that you have like a list of all the objects on the left, right? Like you have a list of all the objects that are part of the drawing that you can select individually. Or even better, but then depends how the selection goes, that you can actually select it just by clicking on the spline. Okay, so let's analyze a bit now. Here we are starting from scratch, guys. So will take me a bit to learn how it works, to learn what to do. So there is a bit of a journey. This is a small mission. I mean, it's actually a mission. It's actually a fairly big mission. It's not a small mission, so it's a fairly big mission, right? So let's open this guy and see what it does. Okay, first of all, what is this? There is a spline widget drawing button. So this is just a button or what? No, inside he has a child, which is a spline widget drawing. Okay, spline widget drawing, which actually it is a spline widget, right? Okay, so this is a spline widget. What is this? This is also a spline widget. Okay. So the fact that you can draw inside of it doesn't really make any difference. It's the same widget. Okay, that's very interesting. So how do you enable these arrows then? Right? Because it seems that in this widget they are enabled. Probably there is also add point and delete point. That is very nice. This is absolutely fantastic. So we want exactly this capability, right? Exactly this capability. Exactly this capability, but we want it here, right? So we want it at runtime and not inside the editor. So do you think that this thing is a different object? Unfortunately, probably yes. But maybe is using that object, right? So let me see what we can find out. I'm still kind of amazed that I cannot see this plugin in the plugin directory, right? So why? That is a bit of a... I guess I have no more than 25 grams of sugar as threat. I know before I cut a soda I was probably having like over 100 grams of sugar. Probably even more because the soda is very, very sugary. So probably it was even more than 100. I mean, depending how many you were drinking, but yeah. So, can someone tell me why I cannot see the plugin that we are actually using and loading in this list, right? It's not under marketplace. It's not, maybe there is a filter or something. It's not under Spline. And it's not under Unreal plugin, blah, 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 right? So, what the hell? I mean, I know that if I open Unreal Engine, actually I see it. So I don't know if it's just a refresh, you know, of this thing, but... It's not even a refresh. Okay. I mean, we can open this one, right? If I open this one, which is actually the Unreal Engine solution file, we actually see it. Hello, Michael. Welcome, welcome. So if I go now under plugins, right? You see that here is here, you see? Here you can see it. While on the other side, in our project, maybe because it's not enabled in our project, in the build CS or in the target or whatever. Yeah, it could be. Makes sense, could be. Okay, let's try to get familiar with this code base, right? It's the first time we see it, so... let's try to get familiar with this thing. So we have a spline builder, a slate spline curves. So one is data, one is slate, then we have a spline, widget. We have a widget spline system. We have a spline widget function library, and this is all the private stuff. And then, okay, the public is just because there is this separation between header files and CPP files, right? So in reality, I mean, if you exclude all of this because it's just a header, right? The whole thing is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files, right? Yeah. Yes. So So now the question would be maybe the spline widget. Spline widget. So let's see the properties that this guy has. So this guy has on widget rebuild update spline. Okay. As a spline object, stay spline, release the source, spline, update spline, spline curves, update spline. So I guess that the curve itself, right? But the spline builder may be the one. Here is a bit of a copyright clash. I mean, the repository has been released in as meat license, right? So I can change all these copyright notices because the whole repository is under meat. So I'm not expecting any all rights reserved, you know, in these files at all. You like the live stream? Nice. We are trying to build some stuff here on drawings and trying to get our head around this this library. So spline builder, render transform, single color, texture coordinates, coordinate scale, line thickness, texture coordinate, half thickness. So these are all basic settings, right, for the builder. Build Bezier geometry. It is the same value than real inside of sense payload. Bezier control point scale. Subdivide. Segment start, segment end. Segment start, segment end. But here there is another block. Wait a second. Here there is a widget spline system editor. Spline widget edit panel. So unfortunately, it looks like the editor is a separate object. It looks like the editor is a separate object. I hope it was the same widget. It was actually switching, right, between editor mode and rendering mode, but it seems it's not. Because you see that we have all these events, right, that are like the on mouse button down. Maybe it's you know, just a matter of moving them in on the other side. But I was trying to understand because this is deriving from a compound widget, right? While our spline widget is derived from uWidget, right? I think the compound probably allows him to be put inside the Unreal Engine UI, right? In terms of like an element of the structure, right? Right, let me just do this, otherwise. Okay. So I think that the compound is probably because you have to place it inside, right? Inside an element like this. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. So in theory, it should be possible. Now the question is, can we add an on mouse button down also on this spline widget? That I have no idea, but we can try. I guess that widget should be able to support it, right? Do we want to put this into a subversion temporarily so that whatever changes we make, we know that? Yeah, probably yes. That would be a good idea. I think I already have a subversion thingy. I think I have a local. I think I have a local. I mean, or we go there, or we go. I see a GSVN PS Unreal 5. GSVN PS Unreal 5, huh? Doesn't exist anymore. Oh, yes, it's here. SVN PS Unreal 5. But this one is used by who? Wait a second, because the freaking Dropbox again went in front of the SVN. This is so annoying. If I had there's no way to fix this actually, to my knowledge. But you see the Dropbox is always getting in front of the Tortoise SVN for the icon, so you never freaking get the icons in the proper place, unless you do what I'm doing now. Uh-oh, everything froze. GG. Everything froze. Now we have no Windows Explorer anymore. Let me do under details, it's easier. We actually have two Explorer running. Okay, now we should have back our thing. We should have our icons and everything, so it should be good. Now I was thinking if we put it temporarily in an SVN, right? PS Unreal Engine 5. I think there was a temporary copy. I think this was a temporary copy. Can I browse this or no? I cannot browse it. Ah, yes, I can browse it. Yeah, this is yeah, this is a repository I created for Unreal Engine back in the days, but is yes, 2023, so it's not used anymore. I don't know if I like it that way though. Can we create a new one? SVN spline widget. I don't remember exactly how you do it, but it should not be too hard. I think you create a new yeah, exactly. You create a new repository, and I think pretty much that's it. And then this becomes your new URL, right, to check in stuff. So if I go now, here, and I say, hey, can you check in all of this? Actually, you have to say checkout, but wait, no, it's not like this. Wait a second. Is a file, yeah, that's the so it should be file G SVN like this, right? Like this. Now the checkout directory is this, but I don't know if he likes it or not. If you can just put it directly here, or he will say, oh, directory not empty, GG, right? Probably will say directory not empty. Yeah, target default is not empty, message checkout default checkout anyway. Okay, so now in theory we have this pointing there, right? So, and apart from the GitHub that we don't really care, right? We now have our SVN thingy. Now the binaries, I think we can avoid, right? But everything else, so basically all of this, well, intermediate, we can also avoid. So all of this excluding intermediate, right? All of this we can check in. We can add recursive. Okay, fantastic. Now, because this helps me, because if we do changes, also if we do disruptive changes, you know, we can so let's say first version of Spline widget as downloaded, right? As downloaded. So that is like now clean and yeah. And now we can work on this without any issues, right? So if you do any changes, I gotta make grabbing a can of oil was tempting, but it didn't give you the try structure today. How can it be tempting? That's like stupid drinks, really. It should not be tempting at all. Your brain is stronger than your body, so use your brain to your advantage. Okay. Okay, so now if you do any changes, they will be recorded properly, right? So that's nice. I don't understand why at the moment Rider is not indexing this. I don't know if I have a way to index only. Yeah, but the fact that it's not indexing it is very annoying. And And I think it's not indexing because in rider options we said that we don't want to index all the plugins because there are actually like hundreds of plugins and you don't want to index all of this, right? Because just for performance reasons. But yeah. But unfortunately, this means that now, I mean, unless we make another project just with the plugin, which may be a way as well, huh? And then it will index it 100%, right? So if we make, how can I create an SLN of this plugin? I just put all the sources inside, I create a new solution and I put all the sources and I import sources. But then we'll see the, no, I think I need to create another Real Engine project with the sources in. Your brain won, let's go. Okay, anyway, because now the problem is that if I do something like this, right, I do paint spline brush and I press F12, right, is not able to go there because this is not indexed. It is super annoying. It is super annoying. I think unfortunately we need to ask. Would be fantastic if you could select only the plugins that you want indexed, right? That would be fantastic, but it's not possible. So I have to do this. But this will trigger a massive. Yeah, it's already blinking. This will trigger a massive reload. But I don't even know if, let me see. There were 2 plugins to update, by the way. Now, let me try to reload maybe. And see if we start to index the plugins, because we need the plugins to be indexed, otherwise we don't have the rider support on the code, and that's super annoying, right? Because we cannot inspect, and so I need that. It may take time because now he needs to index all of this, right? He's doing stuff in background here. I don't know. You see it is in front. The chat is in front, but he's reloading things. Now it seems that he's reading it. Yep. Now maybe it's slightly slower due to the fact that is now. But you see that now if I do paint spline brush and I do F12. Right, it's gonna find it. Okay, so that's the right way to work, right? Otherwise it would have been impossible. Okay, so what we see actually here is that there is a separate spline widget panel, which by the way is a fairly big class, so there is really a lot here. And and as we were saying, this one is derived from compound widget, and I don't know if compound widget is a widget or not. Compound widget is an S widget. An S widget is not a U widget, so it's actually a completely different thing. Probably. Yeah, let me search 1 second on the internet, but I think that one is the one that goes into the editor and the other is the one that goes. So difference between U widget and S widget. Overall, you use S widget when you want to work with Slate directly, and use U widget when you want to work with UMG. Yeah, so they are really using two different systems. Even if, you know, our widget is called that is confusing me a bit. Use Spline widget. Use Spline widget. You see, it is under Slate, right? This is under Slate. So there are some pieces that are actually Slate, like this spline. Yeah, so the spline is actually part of an S leaf widget, and it is inside the spline, the Slate 3, the Slate 3, but yeah, like this one as well. But then the actual spline widget is deriving from U widget. Okay, fine. It is including our Slate spline here. Okay, fine. So you can mix the two, and yeah. But the point is that the functions that are available, I didn't understand why they did it separately, right? Why they did the editor one with all those nice capabilities and the standard Slate without. That I don't understand. I think I need to ask the guy why. I mean, if there is a technical, limitation, right, on having this inside of this, because this is what we need, right? So we want these editing capabilities to be inside of this widget, but they render very differently. They render very differently. Like when you Capture mouse. Button up. I see zero documentation, by the way. Yeah, you see the get spline point under position. That is exactly what we need. Exactly. So this is exactly what we need, right? So this is basically allowing you to identify if you have a spline point under the mouse. Yeah. And if that's the case, oh, there is also a right click. What is a right click doing? Oh, nice. The right click is doing add point, delete point. Yeah. Add point, delete point. I don't understand how it's creating. I don't understand how it's creating the arrow though. When you see this arrow that is created when you click on the point, right? I don't understand because here I don't see that. I mean, I see that does get spline, which is basically searching the point. But it's doing only selected, right? It's doing only that. It's not doing really. Probably he's doing it in the paint routine, right? So he's painting. He's probably painting continuously, and based on what you have selected, is actually showing the arrow or not, right? Because it's probably redrawing that thing continuously, which for us would be happening only in edit mode, right? Push menu. I can select only the single plugin. Probably not. Scope seems to be cool. You can also do directory. You can also do directory, bro. Oh, that's very, very nice. Fantastic. That is very nice. So we can filter only. Yeah, I wanted to understand when you click on that point, right? How does he then realize that he has to create I mean, it's not doing drag. It's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. Because we needed the... This is the drag stuff. It is all the drag. Maybe here. Make box. Outdraw elements, layer ID, lots of geometry to paint geometry. Location, point sides. Key brush. Paint effect, draw effect, point color. Paint spline tangent. Yeah, it's probably here. Is in paint spline points. I mean, it's really a pity that all this code, right, is all working, but it's working in the wrong place, right? Hello, Hula. Good evening. I mean, it's working kind of in the wrong place. Wait a second, someone is saying there are monsters in the Draken plane. I want to remove them. There should not be monsters in the Draken plane. I don't know why they freaking go there. I have no idea. There is something that we have to figure out one day. But there are certain monsters that are wrongly teleported to 000. And
this is the first shot. Gather 2 more.
Well, actually, there is only a pair of shoes. Why there are these shoes here? Yeah, there are no monsters at least. This guy is struggling to understand where to go, but he has to go there. But okay, at least there are no monsters, so it's fine. Okay. Let me ask 1 second the question to this guy. Maybe he has a better. I see there are basically 2 classes. One. So there are two main classes in this thing, right? So one is a spline widget. And the other is a spline widget. Spline widget edit panel. Right? Yes, these are the two main classes. So the first is the runtime. The first is the runtime spline visualizer, right? The second is the editor widget where you can edit the spline, right? So the problem is that unfortunately they derive from completely different base classes, right? Unfortunately, they derive from completely different base classes. One being one being U widget, and the other being S widget, right? And the other being S widget. So it seems not to be easy to port. Yeah, let me say that. So it seems not to be easy to port the functionality of editing from one to the other. From one, not easy to port the functionality of editing from one to the other. Yeah, exactly. So that's the problem that we have, right? So the problem that we have is that there is one object that is very smart and one object that is just a visualizer. Now, at the moment, I think we can focus just on the visualization, right? So I'm not saying that we need the editor immediately, right? I mean, the editor, we can add it later on, right? But still, the editor is super cool, right? It's really, 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 really nice, right? So in theory, I would like this editor. Absolutely, right? And I would like to have it in context. I don't want to have it separate, right? I want to like double click here, and when I double click there, I do the editing, right? So you can edit the spline directly on the widget. I think it should be possible. At the end, it's just a matter of. The problem is that they are using completely different classes. Completely different classes. Okay, but we can split it in two, right? So we can have the visualization and the editing. And if you want to focus on the visualization first, I'm fine. But I wanted just to understand the structure of this, right? I wanted to understand a bit the structure. For example, what is this data thingy? Data. Spline curves. These are probably all the properties that actually make the the curve or the spline, right? Yeah. Yeah. This may be a collection of properties. There are basically the properties that you see in the editor here on the right. If I close this, right, and I go on the spline data, yeah, it's this. And the spline data, you know, you can say, for example, if the spline is linear or not, right? If it's a closed loop or not. What are the points, right? And what is the brush? So yeah, so I think that this spline data, point, brush, yeah, you see, is linear, is closed loop, brush, and then the points, right? Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, exactly. So it is all that. Here is additional stuff that I don't fully understand, but it's okay. And here you have the point that is basically a direction and a location, yeah, which is the vector, exactly, which is the vector of the spline. Fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Nice. I would like to understand if this data is used also in our widget, in the widget that we want to use, right? Or if that is drawn kind of differently. So is the spline widget let me understand, who is this cat code labs, by the way? Because the fact that this code is copied from somewhere else, it kind of bothers me. Cat code labs. Ah, it's the same guy. Okay, it's the same guy. Yeah, it's the same guy. Okay, so is his own property. Okay, nice. So after he released it under Meat license, you know, all of this is under Meat. Okay, so we are good. So we are good. I wanted to understand how do you update update spline, right? I still don't understand how. I still don't understand how this is drawn, but fine. Slate plies. I'm trying to get a bit more comfortable, you know, with the code. Because if we have to change it, so as the spline widget contain, because here it seems to be just unfortunately there is very little documentation in this code. You see, there is not a single comment. Well, there's a comment here actually, but there's very little. So it's a bit harder to read, but it's fine. So in theory, all happens inside of this, right? Inside the spline on paint. So this is Unreal Engine stuff, I guess, right? Yeah. So actually the spline object itself, right, is Unreal, right? Yeah. Okay, well that makes more sense now. So this stuff is basically asking Unreal to paint the spline. So it's not something that he invented, you know, in his own thingy. It's just a wrapper on top of the standard spline painting. But he has more stuff, like for example, it can be painted through a brush, right? So there is actually more stuff because the spline builder is capable of doing it through a brush. This is not very clear to me, but fine. I don't understand exactly what this is doing. Utility class for building a strip of triangles for a spline. Okay, splitting it into points and then it's determining how to paint each split. Okay, so it's basically made of multiple pieces. Yeah, okay. And each one becomes his own, you know, his own spline calculation. Okay, it's pretty cool. Anyway, this stuff is it's not so easy, huh? This stuff is not so easy. So the guy that did this has a good understanding of all this. Okay, so let's say that we got slightly comfortable with the code. I mean, not much, but we understand at least the basic classes, right? The main classes that are here. And we understand, yeah, we understand the main classes of this, okay? Now there are additional libraries like this. There are like function libraries to calculate stuff, right? I don't know if this is blueprint based or not. Yeah. They are usable in blueprints as well. Which is kind of nice. These are all blueprint. Okay. So basically, this block here is a set of blueprint functions that you can call, and this one is the base widget for the UMG system. And this one is the base widget for the Slate system, is the editor panel, right? Then there is data that basically contains all the properties of the spline that you see in the editor, right? Okay, this one is just an empty, I guess. It's just the actual plugin. And then there is a logging class, which I don't know. Okay, just to add a logging class. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, good. Okay, nice. Okay, I think we have a decent understanding of this, right? Maybe not a great understanding, but we have a decent understanding of what is this, right? So now the idea would be, right? Now the idea would be that we would like to create a widget right, that is automatically placing splines. Well, that is actually creating splines, right, on load. And I would not touch this one. I think we should use another separate widget, right? Just I mean, this one is a bit weird, but we can create our own. Let's create our own thingy. Okay, so we create a new folder, call it UI, and here we create a new widget. And you see that you can create a Slate widget and a widget. I mean, this Slate stuff, I never used it actually. So I don't even know exactly what. I mean, I know is the core of the UI system, but okay. So that is this we will call it drawing UI. Okay, we will call it drawing UI. And at the beginning, I would say it will be completely empty except for a canvas, right? So I think we need a canvas because we need to place our splines inside a canvas. So this canvas will be a variable and it will be called drawing, right? Or canvas drawing. Canvas drawing. Okay. This will be our, so inside of this we will place our thingies, right? Now when I mean, we can do it in the begin play or we can do it in the construct. Yeah, in the construct, right? So in the construct, basically this thing we'll have to call I think it will be a C++ function, right? But for now, maybe we can do it. We can do it only also in Blueprint, just to understand a bit how it works, right? So it will have to create a new spline widget. And I don't know if it creates a widget or it creates a component. No, we create a widget because that's a widget. That's the widget, 100%. So, but we cannot do it this way. We cannot create a widget this way, huh? We cannot. So how do we add a component to Yeah, because that needs to be a widget somehow. Right? Why I cannot create spline widget drawing? Spline widget drawing. It's a spline widget anyway, no? So what do we have here, right? What do we have here is a spline widget. So why I cannot create a spline widget? Because it's not a user widget. But if it's not a user widget, then how the hell he created it here? Well, I created it here by dragging a spline widget, right? So if I drag this, so if I drag this here, right? You see that this is added to my user widget. But if I try to do it I don't understand though. So it's like saying I cannot create I cannot like a text, right? If I want to drop a text in here, I can do it. But if I want to add a text box, yeah. If I want to add a text box, I cannot. There must be another way, yeah? There must be another way to add there must be, I mean, in C++ there is definitely a way, because this guy is doing it continuously, I guess, or not. Palette. I just want to be able to add the same, I mean, in the same way. I don't know if this must be done, it cannot be done at runtime, but I mean, we do it in our game, right? When you have the three object, but we actually create a UMG widget, I mean, a user widget to be added, but I don't know if that's the way. That's the only way, right? So if I make a widget that just contains my, if I make a widget that just contains my Bezier curve, right? Then obviously I will be able to add it. But why I cannot just add it like this? Hey, but create widget is not showing. You're not showing that thing, right? I think you cannot do it the way the editor does it. I think you have to derive from user widget, yeah. So if it's derived from user widget, I think you can directly create it, but if it's not derived from user widget, you cannot. So yeah, basically the question is, can I put a U widget and not a U user widget, right, in my thing? This thing, right? So I want a U widget. I want a U widget, not a. And we are back to the user widget thingy. It's probably impossible. It's probably not possible. I mean, it's fine. We can make it a user widget, but I just wanted to reduce as much as possible the overhead, right? In case. Yeah, but all these things are just stupid. I mean, just using the basic stuff, so it's not the answer to our question. I don't understand why it's continuously removing my U. I have U widget there. Can you keep it, or why you should, when I click on the next? Creating widget at runtime. Exactly. UMG widgets, U widgets, right, are just U object shells for already existing Slate widget. And because of this U widget can contain wall composition of Slate widget. Slide widget can also a lot easier to operate in C++. So instead of making user widgets and reuse UMG widgets, you should use uWidget and incorporate Slate widget in it. Exactly. Now, that's fine with me as long as I can click on it, right? As long as it's considered a separate widget and I will be able to click on it and I can have mouse in, mouse out, right? Oh wow, this answer is insane. Yeah, this guy is exactly our question, right? But I think that's pretty much the way it's done. Now, in the example, we don't have a widget that contains, for example, two splines, right? Because each of these guys is one. So I think that the user widget is just a wrapper for the, but we can do it. I mean, it's not a problem. We could have, you know, we could have, let me try. So if we create, you know, a user widget and we call it, user widget spline, right? And inside user widget spline, there is nothing else than a spline, right? So now this guy can actually be added, right, to so now if I go back to what I was trying to do, right, which is this, here I will find my spline thingy now because it's a user widget, right? So here I could create it and add it as a child, and I can add as many as I want. Now I would like to avoid this step if possible, so to like actually, you know, do it directly, and this can probably be done by C++ and not like this because it's not exposed to blueprints. But from the answer that we read there, it would be possible, right? So there may be a future optimization, but so if we can probably do it even in the pre-construct, right? So that we see it in the editor. Actually, yeah. So you see that my widget now has this that has been added. Well, actually, this that has been added by the code, right? That has been added by the code. Yeah. Yeah. And okay, and if I want to change the points, Now we're not gonna do it like this. This is just to get more comfortable with whatever we are seeing here, right? But we are not gonna do it this way, obviously. But still, it is kind of a way to understand a bit better how this whole thing works, right? Now the only problem is that how do I get my I mean, how do I get my spline from here, right? Because like that, huh? Okay, like that. Like that. I really dislike the bottom to top kind of thingy. But okay. So in theory, this will add a random point. Well, it's not a random, but it's a, yeah, it's a random point actually. Yeah, you see? Okay. Yeah, every time you change it, the thing changes because, yeah, because the point is getting modified, right? In the pre-construct, but yeah. So this basically creates the spline, create the spline, adding one object, adding one point, right? Yes. Yes, but I think I still have the same issue though, which is how do I add, because like this is a bit of a trick, right? It's a bit of a trick. So we have a user widget which includes a spline that is user widget that includes the spline that is then added to our main widget and manipulated. Now, can we add as many as we want of these ones? Yes. Can we get like an array of splines? Because I think the current system does not think to, doesn't, but for us will be like an array of spline widgets, right? Will be an array of spline widgets, yes. Will be an array of spline widgets. Rebuild widget. Is rebuild widget the same thing that this guy was suggesting, or rebuild widget? Yes. Rebuild widget. So basically we will have to create a father of this that inside the rebuild widget is keeping an array of all the splines that we want to generate, right? Pretty much. The only thing I don't understand is the declaration as simple as this, or I mean, at the moment that you derive your thingy from a U widget, are you already exposing it to the... probably is a bit more complex than that, huh? On widget rebuild widget, release late resources. Probably these are the ones that you get palette category spline, update spline. What I don't understand is this update spline, right? Ah, okay, it's inside of this. Ah, okay. Okay, so if we have a widget made of splines, right? If we have a widget made of splines, one or more, we can create a super class. We can create another widget class that is keeping an array of, yeah, it's keeping an array of widgets. Now, can we do it? Do we want to do it inside of this? I think so. So we create a drawing widget. We create a drawing widget. We create a drawing widget. So if I create a drawing widget, okay, and this drawing widget will be called uSpline drawing widget, right? And it will have the same shit that we have here, with the difference that we cannot have a spline, but we need to have a pointer to a spline widget, right? Is this possible or not? Can I have because it will have to be like this, right? And it will have to be a T array of this, right? And these are all my splines, right? This will be all my splines, right? So I don't think that any of this exists, actually. And I don't think that any of this exists because we will be calling, right? I don't think that any of this exists because what we will do, we will be calling the update of, well, what we will have actually an add spline, right? we will have an add new spline. And I mean, if you want, we can also have a get all widget, get all splines, something like that. I don't know, right? But I don't know if I need it now. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, there will be an add new spline, and now. We called it drawing spline widget. No, spline drawing widget. Okay, the opposite. Obviously. Easy mistake. So updates. So what this thing will have to do? It will have to cycle on all the underline splines and call update spline, right? So I think that is what it will have to do. Right? And this is what t-share pointer of useSpline object. I don't know if this is actually correct, guys. I am a bit navigating. I'm a bit navigating as I can, huh? What? Pretty much. Sorry, I lost all your chat. What are you doing? You are gambling a lot, huh? Winning point. I just realized right now that your stream of today has something special. Right now that your stream of today is something special. What is special about the stream of today, my friend? 6969. Holy shit. 69 gamble always works, but 69 slots doesn't work. What is special about the stream today? Okay, so we are very close to stream 1400, by the way, which is nice. During a long time I don't hear the music and she's really loud now, but okay. I can increase it a bit, but I increased it a bit, like 20%. I hear it very well, but rebuild widget, slate spline object, get spline data. Oh my god, this will never work then. So it's not possible, huh? It's not possible to do it this way because he needs the result to be an S widget. Because our widget actually is wait, now I'm getting confused. No, also this is a U widget, right? This is a U widget. So when you rebuild the widget, you want as a result an S widget. Yeah, but I have a number of them. So probably I need to put them inside a canvas, and the canvas is my S widget as a result. I don't know. Because here is asking to return this, right? But I cannot return this. It's impossible. I think I'm trying to do something that is not the way, but so how can I have multiple widgets, right, inside of this? So I think I need to rebuild my widget with so it probably needs to be contained into a canvas then. So do I need to have, I need an example. Basically, I need an example of rebuild widget with a canvas. I don't know if canvas really exists in yeah, I'm navigating a bit. You know. This is not very easy because I never did this pretty much. Can I do Control F, please? Thank you. Fuck, reveal widget is not here. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Well, I can take any... Wait. Can I just take any of the examples and try to go from there, or what? I guess what I'm asking, is if I can have yeah, it's pretty much. Anyway. Now no music, it is your level, okay. It is your volume, you mean? Okay, this is not going to be easy, guys, but we're gonna try anyway. So the point is that I have no idea when you have a widget like this that contains multiple sub widgets, right? Which in this case it contains a bunch of splines inside of it. Then what the rebuild widget should have, right? So maybe what we can do. I mean, in theory, any object. Like if you take a checkbox, no, if you take a progress, yeah, progress bar is a good example, or a slider. A slider is fantastic. Okay, if you take a slider is made of multiple pieces, right? So if I, so a slider. My slider, new SS slider. I don't understand. I don't understand. So there is a U slider, right? And here is the returning New S slider. So you mean that you need both? Oh, fuck. There is like a revelation. So you need both the S slider and the U slider? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. But it's not the case. It's not the case here. So in this example, right, the spline is only well, no. Actually, there is an S spline, and then there is a spline widget. Oh, fuck. It is not going to be easy, guys. Because I don't know the system, right? I don't know the system. I don't know how this thing works, pretty much. I don't know how this thing works. I have no idea. So it seems that the slate is creating a component, and then, which is like in this case as a spline, which is actually doing all the painting and everything, and actually the on paint is on the slate object, right? While the but sorry, the editor is the same or not? The editor is an S compound widget. So actually the editor is fully slate. The editor is fully slate. Yeah, but if mine is just a wrapper of multiple, right? Why? Rebuild the widget. New S spline. Return spline of this as widget. Because if I take the slider, right? Because the slider I think is a good K. Because the slider is made of multiple components, I assume. Or not? No, it's just painting. It's not made of multiple components. I think it's painting. I think in the on paint it's painting everything We draw the slider like an horizontal slider regards to the orientation. A player and to make his play correct. Handle. Yeah, draw the slider bar. So even if the slider is made of two pieces, when they paint it, they paint it. So even if this thing is made of two pieces, they basically drawing it as a single piece. So it looks like a slate object is one thing, right? A slate object is one thing. So each of these things is one thing. Okay, I understand. So my idea of having like two splines inside a single slate object doesn't make any sense, right? Because they have to be separate. They have to be separate widgets. So at the end, probably what I did here is the only way, right? Which is to create a user widget. Well, I don't know if it's the only way, but it's definitely one way, right? To have a user widget containing the spline. And then going from there. I mean, to me, it seems a bit of a waste, right? Because I'm basically creating a container for nothing. Right? Because I am creating a container for nothing, while I should be able to drop my, like if I drop this border, right? If I drop this border here, I'm adding it to this widget as a child. So in the same way, I would like to add my spline, right? I would like to add my spline as a child, but by code, right? By code directly. While if maybe in C++ is possible, I don't know, but in blueprints, and we understand that this one is a U widget, right? Which contains a slate widget. I think this we understood, right? Yeah, the problem is that this thing doesn't have the source code connected, which is super annoying. Because I don't know why, but it doesn't. I can open my project and we can do the same, right? And in my yeah, maybe let's open my project a second. So at least we can click on the Okay. So if I do the same here for a second, then we will delete it, but just as an example, right? So what I'm saying is, if I add... if I add... what did I took? I took a border. If I take a border, right? Right, and I open border. And I open border. Border is a U border. Yeah, exactly. Border is a U border. A border is a container widget that can contain a child widget providing opportunity to start around. No. So, but then the U border is using the S border, right? As you can see here. Which is so the U border is not having a non-paint, I guess, right? So the U border has the button event. Okay, so you mean that Slate does not have the button events? Probably. So Slate is pure drawing? Or not? We are learning here, guys. We are learning. Yeah, it seems that... Wait, where is mouse here? What is mouse? Mouse cursor location. Yeah. I understand. So... on mouse button down. On clicked. I mean, it is very old, right? It's 2014, so it may not be really correct anymore. But it seems that you can also... Should we just... Should we just read Slate versus UMG so that we understand what the fuck we are working with? Because at the moment I think I'm a bit lost. Gambling, gambling, gambling. People winning 1,000, winning 9,000. Oh my god. Only winning, eh? Only winning here. Yeah, so basically UMG is they say that it is basically a wrapper on top of it and simpler, right?
Start recording. Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, I'll wait until people join and stuff. Let's see if this is gonna be messing around with stuff. Like 3 days, anyone know? I guess obvious now. So, wait, don't you think? And then we're gonna. I do for my.
Yeah, it's 1 hour video and it's not really explaining much. It's just
Really bad at
working on
explaining
it,
it.
so
We could, in theory, subclass this if we.
so it's fairly hard to follow. Is he creating he's creating U widget. S image. So you see that he actually has both. Yeah, unfortunately 49 minutes of video is very hard to follow, but maybe I can watch it offline, I don't know, but see, we needed a kind of a simpler explanation.
But sometimes you might want to do UI. You can drag and drop and design stuff is really handy. But sometimes you might want to do UI in C++. Maybe you want more performance, or maybe you want features that aren't available to widget blueprints. Well, today, what I'm going to show you how to do is basically make UI in C++. So this is not a widget blueprint. This is all done in C++. And you can see we can quit the game, we can play the game. I don't have a settings menu implemented, but I'm going to show you how to create this basic menu, and we'll be doing this all in Slate, which is Unreal Engine's C++ UI framework. And that's actually what the widget blueprints are built on top of. So let's get into it. Guys, I just want to mention the Unreal Engine survival clip, the entire clothing system on the game in the description. Project to you what one of these you want to go before. HUD kind of acts as the manager for putting widgets up on the screen. Because I'm going to click new player controller, I'm going to call my one a dot menu to do it map before. Turn this widget, and whenever you're creating a slate widget, you want to put an S before it. Similar to how we put like a F before a struct or U before a U object. So let's go ahead and click on create class, and then I'll show you how to actually turn this empty class into a slate class. So inside of Visual Studio, if you expand UE4 and go to source and then go to like runtime, you don't have to do this, but I'm just showing you. There is a module in here called slate. And if we try to use the slate features without including these modules, Unreal Engine's basically just going to be like, what? And so the way that we do this is we actually go into our build file. So you want to open up menu.build.cs and see.
Yeah, that's fine. We have it already.
Do S main menu, the core menu, and we're going to include. Now we need to talk about compound widget. So basically, you want your main menu to inherit from compound widget. If you right click on this, go to definition. You don't have to do this. Again, this is just an example. You can see here it says a compound widget is the base from which most non-primitive widgets should be built. A primitive widget is something like
this is the container that I was looking for. Right? This is the container thingy. So if you want to put multiple, if you want to have multiple splines into a single slate component or a widget, slate widget, then we have to use the compound widget. I see. So that is the one that, yeah. What I was confused though is that, okay. S compound widget, because actually S compound widget, isn't that the same one that we are using? Isn't that the same one that we are using here? Yes, it's the same one. The compound widget is the same one that we are using. But I guess the question is, why I cannot use this thing then? This is what I don't get. So if this is a slate component, right? I mean, it's like, why I cannot use this directly? As a spline widget edit panel. But if I search this one, right, this one is not available. Because spline, there is only spline widget. And I guess that the reason is that this one is not exposed because it's not wrapped into a U widget, right? And since it's not wrapped into a U widget, you cannot see it. Right? Is that the reason? So if that is true, right, which I don't know, but let's assume that that is true. If that is true, can I, instead of having my... So if that is true, right? I'm not very positive about this. I'm still confused. I'm still confused of why the rebuild widget is... so can I do this? Can I do this? What? Oh, fuck, what happened? Did he change this? What did he do? He added that? Why? What? Can you just import the thingy? What? Spline widget edit panel. Ah, because it's in a separate but it's in the same plugin, no? Hmm. I'm trying to mimic, right? I'm trying to mimic what we are doing on the other thingy. What do you mean F? god. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to have the rebuild basically do the same thing. But I think I don't understand what I'm doing, that's the problem. I think the problem is that I don't understand what I'm doing. I don't understand what is this. I don't understand what is this. I don't understand what is this spline data. Spline data EU object. Is the underlying spline data. But the underlying spline data I think I don't understand this line. I don't understand this line. I don't understand this line. I don't know what it's doing. I think that this is creating a new Slate widget based on this class. But then I don't understand what this is doing. And I don't even understand. Oh wow, this one is returning nothing, for example. So it's not that he has to return. Yeah, but a rebuild widget is a virtual function. How can sometimes return void and sometimes return a widget? That's kind of weird, huh? I mean, obviously that I don't know. So basically, as I have it now, this is just a container, basically. But I don't know what to put here, right? I have no idea what to put here. Okay. So let's just see what happens. I don't know. Let's just close everything 1 second. So if I rebuild this, right? Why doesn't like me? Now we are using that, right? What? Ah! So the generated one, right? The generated one. The generated one. We are in complete uncharted territory here, and we are in complete uncharted territory, but I'm trying at least to understand a bit of the basics of this, right? So I think we already learned a lot, right? In terms of what is late, what is UMG, and how one is encapsulating the other to expose it to the blueprint, pretty much, right? Spline widget generated already included. Ah, wait. It's this shit. Yeah, there was like a double. There was a double thing. There was a double thing, my friends. Okay, it's just not working, basically. Add new spline. At the moment, what I'm doing, I'm just trying to create a U widget wrapper. On widget rebuild. Inconsistent DLL linkage. Right. What do you mean? Nah, it's not. It's not doing it. So what I wanted to have a U widget, which is basically encapsulating a slate widget, right? So this was the idea. In the same way that spline widget, right? Spline widget is encapsulating a slate spline, right? So basically is what I'm trying to do, right? But for some reason it's complaining that I cannot do it. It's complaining that I cannot do it. Basically, it's complaining about every single line of my... Can we delete this? And recreate it completely, just to be sure, you know, that it's not fucking up. Can we delete both of those? Because the double generated file maybe, you know, confuse them, but cannot open source file. Drawing widget generated. Yeah, you should rebuild it yourself. No? Okay, let me generate project files 1 second, because I think that it may be that we are kind of in a rough spot. Okay. Now let's open again this. And now let's rebuild again this. I mean, if we get the same error, I really don't know what to say, because I mean, it should regenerate the right generated H, generated CPP. They are generated by definition. So the fact they don't get regenerated properly must just, well, I can't, well, maybe, let's see, maybe now it will go. No, it's the same. Why is complaining about the generated file? I know I deleted it. I know I deleted it. I know I did it myself, but shouldn't just regenerate it, right? Shouldn't just generate this automatically? No? Being a U class? Because it's complaining that it's not there, but then if you add it, it's saying that... Okay, it changed now though. I think now it regenerated it. Static register native use spline drawing widget. I don't understand what this means. I never seen this error. I never seen it. I never seen this error. Maybe it's just that the build, the intermediate, right, got messed up a bit. But if I delete if I delete intermediate, are you including a CPP file? Are we? No. Are we including something stupid in the... Are we including something stupid here? Maybe this include is the one that he added before. Wait a second, let me remove this include. Maybe this include is fucking up things. Because this one is the one that we added when we were on the other project side, right? No. By the way, it's not needed. Let me remove everything that is not needed. Slate spline curves. Slate spline curves. We didn't change this. We didn't change any of these files, right? We're not even including it, so what the fuck is going on? I don't understand. Huh? I'm so confused now, guys. Missing type identifier. So are we missing a comma or a semicolon somewhere? Because it seems that is the case. That we are missing something. Let me see. Where Well, we have this useless public, but I don't think that's the thing. No, maybe we are missing some. Maybe there is some syntax error here because. No. I mean, it's kind of strange though, because it's saying that another file, right, is not. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Just going to remove it all 1 second and see. Basically now that it is empty, right? So it doesn't contain anything. So it should just compile okay. Because, oh wow. Use spline, drawing widget. But why is keeping the shit if the shit doesn't exist anymore? Bro, this thing does not exist anymore. It's because he's taking it from the... Probably I have to regenerate project files again. I don't know, there's something weird anyway going on. Cannot open. Drawing widget gen CPP. No one is asking you to open it. No one is asking you to open that. I think adding a class, removing a class is kind of... I don't know what is going on, but the editor is getting confused and writer is getting confused and me as well. So we are all confused together. We are all beautifully confused. We are all beautifully confused. What the fuck? Cannot open source file? Bro, who is asking you to open that file? I mean, why you assume that this is a... Why you assume that this is a... Because you have include core minimal or what? I mean, consider this file an empty file, okay? It is an empty file. Fuck it. Don't do anything with it. I think it still has something in an intermediate that is... Okay. Compile drawing widget gen, right? So this drawing widget gen... This drawing widget gen, I don't know who's telling him that he has to compile drawing widget gen, right? Someone is asking him to do this, but he should not do it. Okay, anyway, my time is unfortunately finishing, so... Well, it's finished already, 20 minutes ago, so... yeah. So just the fact that this class exists is triggering the .gen for Unreal. I don't get it. Let me clean this whole thing. Widget spline system editor, right? I mean, there's not really much into this, but widget spline system editor. Now, you know what? Let me delete the wall intermediate for this plugin. Yeah, exactly. Let me delete the wall intermediate for this plugin, right? So that now, more you drawing, less you're sleeping. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to understand the system, so I'm doing also stuff that is not completely required. Okay, now for example, it just built successfully, right? Now we just built successfully. I mean, I removed everything, obviously, but it's just to say that... So if I do this now, what happens? If I do this now, what happens? Is the gen in? No, the gen is not in. Okay, the gen is not in. We can put it in. But now we cleaned it completely, right? I think it got confused when I copied the class and there was the gen of the other class inside of this one, probably. Missing specifier. Slate spline curves. Missing specifier. Bro, but it's the same as this. It's the same as spline widget, right? It's freaking the same. Slate as spline. Data spline curve. So in my thing, the only thing that I needed the edit panel, exactly, that I have imported here, right? Name as light spline widget does not match the root class suggested is light spline widget. Yeah, so lowercase. Why lowercase? You don't have lowercase there. So I don't think I deleted anything specific, right? I think it's the same structure on both sides, so I don't understand why my class should not compile, right? It's exactly the same of this guy. So this spline widget, right, is including spline widget, then it's only doing this. In my drawing widget, what is doing is including this. Oh fuck. Okay, that was the mistake, I guess. Was the copy paste from the other class. No, it's the same. Inconsistent DLL linkage. It's incredible how a wrong include may mess up a world system, but let me try one more time and then I'm going to bed because it's really too late and I have to do stuff early tomorrow. So okay, GG. Just going GG. There is something I'm not seeing, right? Like that include, there is something I'm not seeing. There is something that I'm not seeing because this is not normal. Is this, I mean, is the name the same or I fucked up the name? No, the name is the same. The name is the same. These are all the virtual classes derived from UWidget, right? Exactly like we have it for the other one. And this is closed properly. This is closed properly. This is the name of the panel that I have. Now this widget spline system. Okay, wait a second. That may be the thing. Wait. That may be the thing actually, because here we are in another module, huh? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately the move. Yeah, okay, that may be. That may be the problem, because actually we were trying to use from this module a class in another module. Okay, slightly better. I mean, we have more errors, but it's slightly better because now it's just not finding some use spline drawing widget, release late resources. Why saying that he's not finding it? I think we had this one mixed, right? Because there are actually two different modules inside this plugin, and one is the editor module and one is the spline module, whatever it's called. But no, it's complaining like a boss. Okay, it's basically saying that nothing is declared the way it should be declared, pretty much. It's saying that nothing is declared the way it should be declared. I don't know, I really don't understand. And we didn't change this side, right? This side is not changed. So the only thing that we did, we added that class. So pretty much, right? So if I look at the changes, if we look at the code changes, there is basically zero changes. Right? Zero changes, because the only thing that we did, you know, we added this single class, right? This is the only thing that we did. We added this single class. Okay, guys, I have to go. Unfortunately, I wanted to see it at least compiling, but anyway, we learned a few things. We investigated some stuff. I mean, here I'm on a territory that I really don't know, right? There's slate versus UMG versus internal classes and such. I don't know, but hello, Mishu. Hey, the class decorator should be different. What do you mean? Different how? I mean, there is a copy, right? There is basically a copy of the spline widget. It's basically a one-to-one copy. I mean, if I compare the two, they are pretty much identical, right? This and this should be pretty much identical. So there is a class region system editor API, right? And that is the thing. Now, you may say that in this build system we have more stuff, but I don't think so, because here what we have core UMG, engine slate core, right? And on this other module we have, well, the only difference that this one is including the other module, but this one doesn't have UMG though. This one doesn't have UMG because this one was originally not declaring any UMG classes. Okay. Okay. Maybe it will compile now. Maybe it will compile now. Yes, it compiled. Oh my god, it compiled. Okay, okay, 1 second then. So if that compiled, right? If that compiled, and I launch, what was it? If that compiled, right, I just want to see that a component exists now. Spline widget. Hey, but you see that is not, does not exist here. Does not exist here. So even if I have a drawing, no, sorry, because I called it drawing with, no. So how do you declare the name? Spline widget. Spline. I have to change that name. Well, here the name is Spline widget. Where is this name coming from? Get palette category. I think it's just a category, right? But where is the name? I mean, is the name taken from this? Yeah, probably is taken from this. So in theory, my widget, right, should be spline drawing widget, right? Spline drawing widget. Now the only problem is that in my rebuild I don't have the stuff that he has, so he may have failed in actually rebuilding it. But I don't know if you have to declare it in any way. I mean, I don't know if you have to declare that you are adding. No, but it doesn't look like. So basically it's not showing. So under spline we only have this one. Under spline we only have the spline widget, right? Okay. I will work more on it tomorrow and see where we can go. Thank you for watching. If you want to click on follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, that's appreciated. Also remember that our game is released, so if you go to our website and click on download now, you can download it right now for Windows, Linux and Mac, and you can play it if you want. Right? See you. I have to run. Bye. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye 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 bye.